So I'm here with a friend of mine, Claudia, today because I wanted to talk about, on the personal side of things, what happens to the relationship. So I obviously saw you go through IVF to get little George, but was there anything that you discussed with your husband before you were trying to get pregnant about what happens if we start to struggle?
I think we I don't think we ever had an explicit conversation like that because I think it's such a gradual process. It's almost strange how normalized IVF the whole process just becomes, because you go like one little step further until you actually get to the point of doing IVF. And so we kind of just took it one step at a time. When something didn't work, we just went, okay, well, should we move on to the next thing? And so we discussed that, and then we just move on to the next thing, like, clearing out the tubes and then trying again and then going back and seeing IVFAustralia.
So looking at the little
So I think we kind of just went one step at a time. We didn't go, okay, are we going to go fully in here? Is IVF is something that's going to happen? It sort of just happened one step at a time, and then eventually we were just starting IVF, and it's like, oh, okay. But it seemed kind of more normal because of all the stuff that happens before and all the conversations and all the tests and all the things that you tried before. It makes it kind of just feel like just another normal part of it.
So I like the advice you're giving about the little small steps, because I do think people get very overwhelmed.
Because there is a chance that the next step will work. You just don't know what's going to work for you.
Because I think people hear we're struggling to get pregnant, that must mean we're going straight to IVF.
Yeah.
And I feel like that puts a lot of stress and pressure on them, where they don't think about all the little things before they get to that point that they could be doing that might work.
Yeah.
And even though we've heard from Juliet that stress doesn't necessarily stop you from getting pregnant, but it may stop you from having sex.
Yeah. And I think that's an extra stressful part of it, that everyone tells you, oh, the second you stop worrying about it is the second you'll get pregnant. And it's the most useless advice you can ever hear, because you're so stressed and there is nothing you can do to take that away. You can't not worry about it. So it feels a bit unfair when people say that. And I feel frustrated hearing that. But, my reality is that it did work for me in the end. And
One and two.
So, yeah, hey.
Well, then very, very quickly to cap off, what advice would you have for people that are watching this who are going through the process and want to get a little baby George?
Yeah.
What advice do you have for them for the relationship side of things?
Okay, so I would say don't assume anything about the other person in terms of how they're feeling, because there's every chance that they could be sort of trying to alleviate your stress or make things easier by not sort of revealing what's going on for them. And I think, bottling things up is only going to make things more stressful for you. So as much as you can, sort of have a way, and it may not be with each other that you deal with this stuff, but have someone that you can talk about how difficult this has been, and talk to each other and try and take it kind of one step at a time, because you just don't know which part is going to work best for you.
Well, thank you for that. I know we're holding up George here. I think there's some amazing advice there for people that are watching this and can see that this can be the end product.
Yeah.
Is one here and one along the way. Hey? Yeah. Can you say goodbye, George? Say bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.